So I started renovating the house. It took about 12 months before I sort of had it finished. Renovated inside and out. I did have beautiful gardens down there because I've been there for a long time and I'm very much a big gardener. Then it was time to start and push my husband again. I wanted to go home to Queensland. And I said to him, I said, well, I want to go home to Queensland. Are you coming? And he said, no, you go by yourself. He said, I'm staying here, but you walk away with nothing. And I said, well, no, that's not going to happen because my husband and I had an agreement when we got married that if either one defaulted and was going off, who found the grass greener on the other side of the fence, they walked away with nothing. But if it was a general breakdown in marriage, everything would be sold and would be split. And I said, but I haven't defaulted. This is a general breakdown in marriage, so I will be selling everything and taking my full half share. Now, my husband saying to me that you can go, but you walk away with nothing, that was a real red flag for me, saying that all it was he really wanted was all the money and the assets, not me. But then he did decide to come, so I gave him the benefit of the doubt that, I was important to him too. It wasn't just about all the money. So that was sort of kind of the beginning of the end, really, for me. And with that, my husband said that as long as my granddaughter came and my daughter moved to Queensland with us, that he would then move. So it took me a little while to get my granddaughter's father to approve her to move to Queensland because she lived with us. My husband and I brought her up, and my daughter agreed because her partner said he was coming. He said, I'm going with him up. Him and I had a great relationship. So my husband ended up getting a job in the mines up off Mackay. My daughter's partner, he got a job in the same mine too, so that was great. The two boys travelled and worked together. And I rented a house in Hervey Bay over the internet, and off we go to Queensland. We're all moving. Yay! The two boys had been gone working in the mines for about a month, and my daughter and I and my granddaughter, we all decided we were going to jump on a plane, so we flew from Sydney to Hervey Bay, and the boys drove down from Mackay to Hervey Bay, and we all met at this house I'd rented. There was nothing in there. We just all sort of camped on the floor and ate out and just enjoyed our time together. Then it was the weekend that a cyclone was about to hit Hervey Bay, and we didn't know whether we were going to be allowed to fly out. But anyway, it didn't hit. We flew out and went home. The boys went back up to the mine. I went down, started packing up the house and sold off the rental properties and sorting out the farm, got rid of the animals, and we'd subdivided the land that we had there. So everything was coming together. My daughter then decided she was going to move to Hervey Bay, so she went ahead and took my granddaughter so I could just concentrate on packing up the house and getting things done. So I packed up the house, and it's a bit scary being on a property by yourself. There was one incident where I was up in a shed and we had a pile of bricks in the corner, and the corner of the bricks was sort of sticking out. And I'd tripped over this piece of wire and I headed straight for the corner of these bricks. Now, these bricks would have gone straight down through my face. And I'm a bleeder, and I would bleed out before anybody found me. And with people not coming home to check on you or see you of an afternoon, you're there all by yourself. Yes, my friends would have come up and they would have gone to the house and sung out and no answer. They wouldn't have come and looking for me in the shed. So I'd have died up there. But just before I hit these bricks, something just pulled me or pushed me or whatever out of the way, and I sort of fell down the side of it. I'd organised my brother with a semi-trailer to pick up all my furniture and everything, but he couldn't get the semi-trailer through our front gate. It was too narrow, and we had quite a long driveway, so I had to get everything out of the house and put it all on up the road ready for him to back up and just put it on the truck. So that took me a while to be able to do that. Now, one of my husband's friends from down the road, he said he would come up, bring the tractor up, and I could load everything up on the forklift and we could drive it down the front, and that he would help me. And I thought, oh, gee, that's great, thank you. But on the day that he came for us to start, so it was going to take us a couple of days, we were standing there talking about the plan of it, and next thing he reached out with both hands and grabbed me on the boobs and said, oh, I know why your husband likes those so much. And it just took me back, and I just pushed him away and said, that is so inappropriate. Do not do that again. I was shocked. So I was terrified of being left alone with him for these next couple of days, having him help me move all the furniture. I kept wishing, gee, I wish somebody else had come up here. But nobody did. I was there all by myself with him. Scary. The day my brother arrived up, which was only a couple of days, so the furniture and everything only had to sit outside for a little bit, and I had it all covered and it was protected, and my shepherd was there. Anytime that anybody came near it, she would bark and I'd just go down. But that wasn't an issue. So my brother came, we loaded the truck. A couple of the young boys and people from the town came up and gave us a hand, which was great. And off to Hervey Bay. I took my shepherd in the ute with me, and I had my ute fully loaded, and then I filled my brother's semi-trailer up and off to Hervey Bay. So we got there, it was Easter, 2009 when we moved to Hervey Bay. We got to Hervey Bay, unloaded we unloaded the truck. Some things stayed in boxes and were left packed up because we were only in this rental house for possibly 6 months until I found a house that we wanted to settle in and call home. My husband and I did have to slip down over a few days at one stage because we still had more things down in New South Wales at the house, so we had to take a large trailer down in our ute to finish loading everything up and have it final. And then we were settled in Hervey Bay.